Welcome to the Deucecast Extra. We are here, of course, to talk about The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 3, Power Broker, which was, I've got to say this, and I didn't spoil this for Ryfen earlier while we were doing some pre-show chatter, but this particular episode put it over the top for me that I'm actually enjoying this series more than I did WandaVision.
Oh no!
Oh wow!
Yeah,
wow.
I think this is the episode.
I'm not there yet.
Really?
That did it for me. Oh yeah, I loved this episode. I thought that anything and everything that you could want out of a Marvel property was in this particular episode. They packed a lot in what, the 53 minutes or whatever it was. I thought it was
53
awesome.
and a half, basically.
Yeah, basically 53 and a half. And oh man, I thought it was so good. I mean, Daniel Bruhl is so good in this episode.
He's probably my favorite character on the show right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of playing anti-hero almost in the show.
Oh, Rhett making the prediction right now.
Yeah.
Sharon is the power broker.
Made that
yeah, I've seen that.
I mean, that makes sense.
It's become a popular theory.
Yeah.
It's a very popular theory right now.
And that does make sense, actually.
I mean, Rhett just drops the biggest reveal like at the front of this episode. We're getting there, Rhett. Calm down. Jeez.
So, Ryfen, what did you think of the episode?
Well, I guess I already said it, but Zemo, easily my favorite character in the show so far. I loved the little retconning of his backstory. You know, what we got in Civil War was basically, he was away from his family. They died in Sokovia. Mm-hmm. And he wanted to enact revenge on them. Now we learn that he is a baron.
Yes.
He has a lot of money, clearly.
Yep.
And a nice jet plane and a good sense of humor and some dance moves.
He's got some dance moves.
Yeah.
Here's my question about that. Like, if he does have family money, how does he still have family money when Sokovia is gone? I mean, there's nothing.
They got some Swiss bank accounts.
Okay, we'll say they have Swiss bank accounts.
They've got their money spread out.
His family was
diversification.
Smart. Yeah,
some offshore. They don't have a Meghan Markle trying to take them down. So they have some offshore accounts. Dr. Earl, what did you think of the episode?
I mean, I thought it was good. It had when they got to Madripoor, I thought it really took off. It had sort of a Blade Runner vibe about it somehow, with those bikes with those little tall poles and just the whole neon sort of seedy underbelly type thing. So I enjoyed it. Like Michael, I'm not at your level. I still don't think this is WandaVision. I mean, I think it's okay. But it's fine. I mean, it's good. It was good. It definitely moved the story along. And
one could say another good comparison for the city would be John Wick, maybe.
Oh,
yes.
Well, it's the director, right? Or the writer.
It was written by the guy who wrote the first two John Wicks and is at least credited for part 3.
Yeah, and the stunt work was awesome. I mean, of course, Sharon got to have some great moments, against all those bounty hunters. And then Bucky as Winter Soldier, undercover as Winter Soldier, got to have some cool fight scenes the bar.
He did. And Sharon, man, dude, she went off on those dudes.
Yeah.
That was a pretty bad. She took them down.
Yeah, Red says he does not care about Empty Nest, which he's referring to Carly there, obviously. Sorry, I didn't mean to click on that.
And I agree. I think Zemo made this episode fun. Like I just really enjoyed that. There were some good moments, I think, with Sam that I enjoyed too.
Honestly, Falcon seemed like the weakest part of this episode.
Oh.
I mean, I loved him having to dress up as the smiling tiger.
Yeah,
in his little.
I mean, I do resemble that guy
as he says a pimp suit.
And that was a great line by Nemo when he basically said only Americans would call that a pimp suit, or only Americans would call an African American dressed up in stylish clothes a pimp.
Yeah. Only you Americans.
Yeah, I thought
he had a couple of interesting lines on that front. The Marvin Gaye stuff in the plane.
Yes. I mean,
he's like, no. First of all, he goes, but he's right.
yeah, exactly. The writing is so good in really all three of these episodes. I mean, I was building to really liking this show just because of the back and forth between Sam and Bucky has been so sharp and so tight. I mean, they've just been really, both of those actors are just such pros. They've been working really well together. But this episode, add in the action and add in Nemo. It's just good. I mean, it's just good stuff.
Wait, not Nemo, Zemo.
Zemo. That's what I meant. Did I say Nemo? I meant Zemo.
That's what Jacob.
We're doing 20,000 Leagues on this episode.
Exactly.
We totally changed our topic.
Finding Zemo. Yeah, I mean, just add Daniel Bruhl into the mix, and those three together is the perfect trifecta.
Yeah.
I think my moment with Bruhl was when he pulled up in that car and he goes, supercharged.
Yeah, exactly. The American car.
I don't know why that got me, but I just.
Yeah, I really thought he was going to be a Hannibal Lecter type where they would come to him and there would be some fun interaction like we talked about, potentially him trying to use the words on Bucky again, which he did do in this episode. But them actually breaking him out it's made it a much better show, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Fetmatic has a point. I mean, if I can get my mouse to work, that Bucky's doing all this stuff, with regret. He does not want to have to go back into the Winter Soldier mindset, and all of that stuff. So, I mean, and I totally get that. And that's why Sam, like, really throughout the episode, Sam had moments where he was like checking on him. He was like, "Say, dude, are you okay? Is this? I mean, are you going back into the bad place?" Because he's really in his life, he's trying to move on from that. He's trying to become the White Wolf. He is trying to get as far away from Winter Soldier as possible.
I may have to go back and remind myself because remember he tried to use the words on him.
Oh yeah,
when he first met Zemo, and he goes, "That doesn't work for me anymore." Was there some explanation of why that didn't work anymore? Like maybe in one of the movies?
I think it's just Wakanda. I think Wakanda worked on him. They left him there.
Yeah, there was a lot of downtime that we obviously didn't see when he was at Wakanda and they worked on him. But I mean,
Sorry, to Rhett's comment. If you're going in a meeting like that, turn your cell phone off.
Yes.
That's right. That is not something that's really like amateur. That was amateur hour.
Which I guess makes sense because Sam is not involved in those kinds of dealings, but
I guess.
He's more of sort of the straight-laced, military guy.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess he just wasn't.
So no. I knew that they put him on ice and everything, but I didn't know they rewired his brain.
They worked on him. For sure. That was a big part of bringing him there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I just thought that like he was rehabilitated just because it was kind of like they put him on a farm and it was peaceful and he was just going through like a rehabilitation.
No, they put him in ice because at the end of was it Civil War? We see Wakanda.
The answer to this is always no for me in any property. Like Star Wars, MCU, Star Trek.
Oh, come on, Star Wars. Look behind you.
No, I don't. I don't keep track of all the stuff. My brain doesn't work quite as well as that.
Maddox said Shuri fixed Bucky. So
okay, well that makes sense.
Which is why he recognized those little balls at the very end.
Yeah, well, he spent so much time in Wakanda.
The little mini T-spears. That.
So I mean the
EU reference.
I think that they are really laying it on thick with how much of a jerk John Walker is. They're really trying to get the audience to not like him.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm Team John Walker.
They're starting to push him towards
the dark side.
I mean, they had him kind of be a jerk in this episode to
big
the guy.
Time.
Well, I mean, the guy did spit in his face. Come on,
he did. He did. But John can't lose his cool like that. And I think that's what they're trying to convey.
Come on.
Hey, man. I'll come spit in your face, Mikey. Yeah, you do.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is there are not a lot of men like Steve who can't lose their cool at that,
Well, I mean, and it's obvious that the public, or at least this specific guy, was like, "Yeah, I know who you are, and I really don't care." I mean, there's not the fear built in because they know he's not a super soldier. I mean, they know kind of he's just a regular dude that the military tapped to fill this role, and so. I mean, there's not really these villainous people really don't have much fear for him. Yeah. To do you mean unsavory things? Yeah, I think he means
Unsavory.
maybe. I think more unsavory things. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what Fatmatic's getting at. I mean, because he's doing things that necessarily Cap wouldn't do in the way he's doing them. I don't know. You know, Jack booted Earl over there.
Let's
But
crush them. Hey, I'm GRC all the way.
Oh, really?
I'm on the council. I'm on the
into
council.
Okay. I hear you. I'm not.
But I want to keep them in the camp. I want to keep them in the refugee camps till it's time to move them back into society.
So yeah, they're certainly trying to pull on the heartstrings with all that stuff with Carly and her.
That's
and her
boring
group.
to me.
Yeah, it's the worst subplot in the show.
It is. It's the worst subplot in the show.
And they just made her a full-on villain at the end. So
yeah,
right.
I care even less.
Yeah,
I do like the guy. I like the guy who's the kind of the Asian guy with the ponytail.
Yeah.
He seemed like he was like, there are people in there. You know, he's got a little bit of.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, even her people are starting to doubt her. That guy. Let's see. I thought he had a character name, but I guess they don't have him. If you look on IMDb, they don't give him the character name per se.
Also, if you have a patient with TB, you don't keep them out there in the open ward like that. Like she was just like sitting out there. She's hugging over. I'm like, hey, Carly, you just got TB, sister.
No, she's a super soldier. She won't catch
she's
anything.
A super soldier. You're right.
Yeah, she won't catch anything. She'll be just
Why did
fine.
she give some serum to that girl to probably fix her TB?
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think that she was trying to get obviously some medicine for her.
Yeah.
But that didn't necessarily work out, obviously. And you know, the power broker is
TB,
coming.
Put them in camps.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, sorry, I'm just reading the chat.
No, the power broker is certainly interested in getting those serums back because we kind of find out that they're the last ones. That the guy stopped making them after that.
Well, I mean, Zemo murders the doctor that was making
No, but he was sort of telling them before that though that he didn't make any more after the ones that Carly stole though.
Yeah,
he made 20. He made 20 vials.
Yeah,
Power Broker can't even persuade him to make more at this point.
yeah.
And that's why some people. Well, should we go into the Sharon theory?
Go through all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So that's why at the end she goes, "What did you do?" And then some people feel, but see, I don't know if it makes sense that she was beating up all those people to protect them if she's the power broker. You know what I mean? Like I
don't personally think she's the power broker.
No, but there is a big theory out there. At the end, she gets in that car with that lady.
There's something mysterious there.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know that I believe she went full on villain like that.
It seems to me. I mean, she's got the pardon now. Like, why wouldn't she go back if she's got the pardon? The fact that she's
cynical.
Yeah.
Well, because Sam says if you help us, we'll make a deal. If Sam says if you help us,
yeah. So I mean, and at the very end, she's kind of like, just get me that pardon, but I'm staying here. So I think that is certainly a thread that, I'm not even going to acknowledge.
I like this.
No, don't. But
I like this conspiracy theory better, guys.
Okay.
The power broker's name is Curtis Jackson. What other famous person do you know's name is Curtis Jackson? 50 Cent is going to play the power broker.
Way.
And then we find out it's Mephisto.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Oh, that's awesome. Yes, I did watch the episode, and yes, she is mentioning the pardon at the very end of the episode. She says, "Get me that pardon," and I'm hanging out here. And he says,
"Maybe
something
he's talking about me. My name's Michael."
Okay. I mean, I did watch that show.
Also, Zemo has a really old butler on that plane, man. I was like,
that
yeah,
dude.
I know. That is like 90s.
If that was somebody significant, like maybe one of the original creators of one of these characters or something.
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
Because a lot of times they'll do that. They'll throw a super old dude in an episode that happened to create one of these characters.
That'd be cool. Like if he was the guy who made Zemo up, like Roy Thomas or.
The chat is really into semantics about everything tonight. I love it. It's exciting. The chat's exciting tonight. But
Yeah, he looked like he was almost in his 90s. He looked he looked
He was-
old. He
Right,
looked
yeah.
like
He
he
was-
probably wouldn't have been on set during the reshoots during COVID.
the elderly Avengers.
It's the next wave.
That's the next wave. We're gonna have the young
Yeah.
Avengers and the elderly Avengers.
The elderly Avengers.
They've got to cover all bases with everything in the MCU.
Or you got Snowbird, who's coming from Miami. Anyway,
Exactly. Oh yeah, Snowbird. Exactly. That'd be a good Avengers name. Gosh, there was
Our Adventures.
a lot packed in to the episode. Just kind of if we're going-
Polygrip. No, I'm just kidding.
if we're oh yeah, there. Look, Fat Maddox got a point. Mephisto, aka 50 Cent. That's
I mean, it's
right.
time for Curtis Jackson's role to.
It's your birthday.
So the episode starts off pretty cool, where Bucky is breaking out Zemo, and sort of like tells Sam chronologically like what he did basically.
So yeah, I love that. I love that sequence, and we get the flashing back.
Yeah,
and
the
forth through
hypothetical.
Why did Bucky not ask Zemo who he was playing chess against?
Oh, I don't know.
Please tell me. There's a chess game in his cell that is going on. Who is he playing chess against?
Yeah, it's just one of those tropes. It's just more of the the
Yeah.
super villain likes to play chess.
That was a little
Why
too
is-
much. I mean, I'm
You
here
can't-
reading Machiavelli.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, it's all the trope. Like any
Yeah,
trope
all the tropes you
Which-
expect.
makes it funny. I mean, they're reading Machiavelli, and
I
so
think
I
he's
mean,
playing
obviously
chess
he's a
for the
very
head of the
Machiavellian
Tyrell
villain.
Corporation.
that's right, the Tyrell Corporation. Yeah, I've gotten to the point now where like anything that I see in an episode, I look it up, to see like I Google it to see if it has any importance at all.
Significance.
Like
Yeah.
any word that I see on the screen or something, I'm like, oh, does this mean something? Is that
This is what
Well-
WandaVision has done to us.
exactly?
That's right.
Exactly.
So I wonder if that golden gun. Remember when he had all his cars?
Yes.
Is that golden gun something that he had maybe in the comics? I wonder.
Pretty sure he had that in the comics.
Okay.
I don't
I
know
love
that
the
it's
mask.
I don't
Yeah.
know that it's a real gun in the comics. I think it's more futuristic if I remember correctly. But it's golden, and he has his mask from the comics, like you said, and we got to see him kick butt
Yes.
the
towards the end of the episode.
That was great.
Yeah. Yeah. He actually did a little.
In Civil War, he played psychological games. He knew he couldn't beat the Avengers in a fist fight, but
Right.
he can take on these goons in this episode.
Yeah, which is why he hates the super soldier serum.
Yes.
Because it creates these people that you can't really fight in any way, obviously physically.
Yeah, he
so-
hates them for at least he has a decent reason, because he doesn't hate the bad guys and he doesn't hate the good guys necessarily. He just hates them all
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they superheroes destroyed his country.
Oh, and
Yeah,
and
and
he
killed his
is
family.
not shy about bringing that up as often as possible. I mean, he had a couple of good one-liners and sort of like jabs at Sam and Bucky about Sokovia.
Yeah.
He's like, you didn't go to the. I guess you wouldn't have gone to the. I guess you missed the memorial. or
you missed the
something.
memorial.
Yeah.
That was so perfect.
I think the memorial is in some trailers, so that might be a thing in the show. Maybe
Oh.
it's like the last scene for Zemo. He visits the memorial or something. But
Oh, okay, interesting.
just a guess.
Interesting. I like. I mean, I like that idea, but
Yeah, I think he said.
so-
I think he said Sokovia has been like taken over by the countries around it or something. Whatever that land is.
Latvia, which is Doctor Doom's area. Latvia.
Latveria is Dr.
Latveria.
Doom's area.
not a
Yeah.
real place.
Yeah.
Whereas Latvia
but-
is a real place.
It's
So,
named
yeah.
after Latvia.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the power
Wait,
broker
this
is
isn't
Doctor
real?
Doom.
Power Brokers. Let's go through this again.
Let's go through this again. The
Ooh,
power
now
broker is
that
the-
would be. And then Reed Richards shows up. get
We
Mr.
need Vision
Fantastic.
in the comments to tell us who's going to be in the episode.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
Vision, come back to us.
we know, Rhett. We know. Nobody.
We know, Rat. I listen.
We know. They're on. They're
I'm old, dude.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Latvia in the episode.
Rhett's.
I made sure
nonstop
because I
thing.
saw Latvia and I looked it up really quickly because I was like, Nope, okay.
Yeah, no. It's interesting because they're using real places, but Latveria obviously isn't, and Madripoor is obviously not a real place. Now
No,
there
it's like Singapore.
yeah, it's supposed to be like Singapore. It's supposed to be like a
Was that
pirate.
Singapore, or do you think that was just all CGI?
Well, the city itself. I mean, the interior stuff is definitely shot in Atlanta. I know that for a fact.
Sure.
Yeah.
The exterior, that's a good question.
I could almost
maybe
think
the volume. They shot it in the volume.
It looks like Hong Kong from Godzilla versus Kong, which is
Yeah.
something that Rhett was making a joke about earlier. But it
I
really
haven't
does.
looked at if you follow MCU Location Scout on Twitter, I'm sure he probably scouted that out. Yes, Roth, Wakanda's real. No, it's not. So
Is it not?
no, it's not. Oh my gosh. But that is, speaking of what Rhett's comment said that I'm not going to put up, they did mention at the top of like as they were going into Madripoor that there was two different sections. There's like the seedy section and the wealthy section.
Yeah, the low town and the high town.
Yeah, which is kind of where Sharon Carter hangs out, in the high town.
She's in high town.
Yeah, she has a place in Hightown. Yeah,
she's selling illegal art. Well, not illegal. I mean, she has the originals, and the fakes are in the museum.
Yeah, she had a pretty nice setup there. I mean, maybe who else could get that kind of power broker?
I did like that. Like they brought in this new personality for Sharon. Yeah. And that immediately it made me go, wow, she kind of sucks. And then immediately the character in the show goes, wow, she kind of sucks now.
Was that Sam that said that?
It was either Sam or Bucky. It was one of the two.
It was a good line, though.
Yeah, Bucky kind of said, wow.
It's interesting because she has reason to be pretty bitter. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, she does because she's been left to dry.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, she's been left to dry. She hasn't seen her family. The Avengers never made any effort to come back for her.
Steve went back in time and buried her grandma or whatever.
No, it's her great aunt. I think
great aunt. Okay.
Yeah, because I think she's technically her great niece. I guess.
Either way, they were together.
Yeah.
Then he left her for her great aunt. So.
Yep, that's true. But he did not know she was related to Peggy at that time that he kissed her. I don't think he...
Did he not? That was Civil War, wasn't it?
It was Civil War. I don't think he knew that was...
No, he knew. Because didn't he meet her at the funeral or something? Or
yeah.
Kind of weird then.
And it was afterwards that she got him all his stuff, and Falcon and Bucky had their interaction in the car while they kissed. And in fact, we get a reference to that interaction in the car in this episode.
I guess yes. In the MCU...
Can you move your seat up? No.
In the MCU, Steve is not necessarily her great uncle, though. I think that's
depends on which time stream you're traveling.
Yeah,
on.
Okay. So I buy into the okay. If we want to get into this really quickly, in Endgame, they specifically say in the movie, when you go back in time, you don't actually go back in time. You create another time stream. And what they had to do to clip those branches of those separate time streams was return the stones back to those moments so that they could all be clipped. Obviously, one has not been clipped, as we see from the Loki trailer.
Right.
I need to check this trailer out.
Yeah.
And I do buy into the theory that Steve didn't go back in time in the original MCU timeline. I agree with the Russo brothers because the way they established time travel, they couldn't. He couldn't do that. So
okay.
So technically he's not. So technically he's not her great uncle or great uncle, whatever.
Yeah, it'd be great uncle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, in that case, are you saying that he basically jumped to a different timeline to go back to Peggy?
I'm saying he basically created a new he created a multiverse. He created another universe.
The time stream, baby.
Yeah, where he was
it was never clipped.
Yeah.
So he's gone then, like, as far as Sam and Bucky are concerned, he's not in their timeline. He's in a different timeline.
Because he said he's going to do something for himself. And so I'm going to selfishly create a time stream and just drag all these people with me.
Yeah.
So I can be with this one girl.
Yep.
So he did.
Okay, what is Roth talking about here? This was brought up on the Barstool podcast by the Russos, and there are people
Don't put
at
that up.
RetroZep that aren't fans of that.
Take that down now.
Give
Take
me
it
a
down.
rip about that. I don't give a rip about that. I don't give a yeah. So he created a new branch in the time stream.
Yeah.
So he when he went back, when Old
They
Man
flipped
Steve
the
went
others.
back
Yes.
to Old Man or to Old Woman Peggy, they're in a different time stream. They're not in the. That's why like Sam and Bucky are like he's gone. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And he jumps back into their time stream at the end of the movie to give them the shield.
But then jumps back. We assume.
I'm going to guess he goes back to that other one. Yeah.
But we don't know that. But that's obviously that if that's where Peggy's waiting.
Yeah.
He went back.
Maybe Peggy is still alive in that other universe.
Yeah, I think they both are. I think they're both still alive.
Yeah, because she would be dead in this one by then.
I know.
Flash used the Speed Force to create, and then he passed between the multiverse. Oh wait, I'm sorry, that's DC. And he went back to Batman. Never mind.
Yeah, he said Lois Lane is the key.
The key,
right? Exactly.
Yeah. Except Amy Adams' contract is up. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
So
hey, we're talking MCU here.
So Zemo is into the rave dancing.
Yes,
that is the biggest new meme on the interwebs. Is little clips of him dancing to different music. I've seen
really
anything. Yeah, there's in fact there's an account I think on Twitter that just is only that 3-second clip and different songs in repeat. I mean, it's pretty awesome. Like every moment with Zemo in this episode to me made him likable, which means he's going to do something to be really unlikable at some point in this show.
Well, I think
killing the Doctor wasn't a good thing.
Do the Zemo. Well, I know that killing the Doctor wasn't a good thing, but I mean at the same time, it was kind of inevitable. I mean, he flat out told Sam and Bucky he does not like super soldiers, and so he's going to do whatever he needs to take out, to stop the guy from creating more. I mean, they had to realize that was going to happen.
I thought he had a really interesting interaction with Winter Soldier before he gets broken out.
Yeah.
He tells Winter Soldier that it was never personal, which is really interesting because he talks about how much he hates the super soldiers. He tells him that it was just a means to the end to break up the Avengers, obviously. But yeah,
personal.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that he said that because I feel like the way he talks about super soldiers, it should be really personal.
Yeah, it seems to me that it is very personal.
So either he's lying about that to make him feel better, or maybe he just doesn't care about Bucky. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't think. I think as with any villain, I mean, in the end, he's out for himself, and so everything that he's doing right now is a means to an end for something that he's got planned.
Is he a villain? Yeah, I mean, he kind of is, but he's not the main villain.
No, he's not. No. I'm not saying he's necessarily the main villain of the show.
Yeah,
but
he'll pull a Hannibal Lecter.
Something will happen at the end. He's not gonna go back.
At the end, he's gonna call up Falcon and tell him that he's gonna have a guy for dinner. So
exactly,
with some a nice Chianti and some
fava
beans
and a nice Chianti. Yeah, he's fantastic. I want more of him in the mask. Yes. I hope that he keeps doing that.
Yes, Red is a villain. Don't let him fool you.
Yes, Rhett. Yeah, 100%. That makes you a villain. That does. You're the Deucecast villain for sure.
But
and Roth is your sidekick. But yeah, I mean the stuff with John Walker, because he had two scenes, and both of them he was kind of just really douchey. I mean, in general, I mean, and even his buddy was like, "Look, we just need to do this by the books," and Walker's like, "No, we're gonna have to go we're gonna have to go off base here and sort of.
Yeah. There's a theory that Battlestar is going to turn on.
No, I said that last week that I don't think Battlestar in the end is going to be able to go down the same road that John Walker's going down.
Interesting.
I still think that there's a good chance to set up the Thunderbolts with Zemo and U.S. Agent at the end of the show.
I mean, they could
Thunderbolt Ross.
They could go that way. What's up, Aussie Nate? Thanks for joining.
Hey.
Yeah, they could definitely go that way. And I wouldn't mind seeing it because I like Wyatt Russell. So I wouldn't mind this not being the only thing that the guy does in the MCU. And again, my theory is always you don't hire an actor like that just to have him in one series. I mean, I think you branch it out.
And you can have a really interesting, complex storyline with him throughout throughout this show leading into a Thunderbolts type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because you could have Zemo. You could even like Sharon Carter could even be a part of it. I mean, it doesn't have to exactly follow the comic, so they could definitely do that.
Especially since she's the power broker.
Hey, that would be a good twist. If I'm being honest, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that as a.
It's been called so much, though. Would it even be a twist at this point?
Yeah, well, this is true. I mean,
I hope it's not that telegraphed and that easy, but
no, I mean, she certainly has her reasons. I mean, if she's the power broker,
reasons be, though, to take down the what would her reasons be though to take down the United States? I mean, I don't really understand. The Flag Smashers want anarchy. That's what.
Well, no, I don't think that they necessarily want anarchy. That their whole reason was they don't feel as if the people that were left behind were treated right.
They want the resources.
They seem pretty. They seem pretty like an anarchist group. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I mean, Carly certainly did an anarchist act at the end of the episode. I mean, more than just stealing the serum, which you could justify that. But yeah, that thing that she did at the very end of the episode, blowing up that building with people still in it.
A terrorist at that point.
I mean, she upped her game.
And the writer said that there's going to be a lot of gray. Nobody's going to be totally good or totally bad.
Yeah.
In this, except for maybe Sam. Sam may stay true, but but you're going to have a lot of good. What?
I was just going to say, Sam didn't break the guy out. Didn't break Zemo out. So
no, yeah, I mean, but. Bucky's doing what he feels like he needs to do, but so is Carly. I mean, Carly's doing. And what's the little comment that she made? I mean, at the end to kind of justify in her mind blowing up that building. I mean, they would do the same or something. She said something.
It's the only thing that would speak to them. Something.
It's the only thing that's going to send a message or whatever.
Send a message, right? Exactly.
I don't get these. Look. Anarchy groups are not going to follow some teenage girl. I'm just sorry. It's just.
But she's a teenage girl with super soldier serum.
Yeah, but still, I'm not buying it that she's that inspiring. I mean, just.
Yeah, I really haven't seen the. I know what you mean.
And weeping all the time. I know there's sad things, but
I haven't seen the charisma. Yeah,
no.
I get that. Yeah,
like that's what I'm saying. I just don't get that they've built that part of the story out very well.
If you brought Daniel Kaluuya in to lead this group, I could see that the charisma there that he shows off in some recent films.
Yeah.
Well, and Roth has a point, but I think they could bring another actress in who was like fiercer or something. I don't know.
Well, no,
I know they're trying to build the.
No. I don't think. I think she's just playing the role as she's told to. I mean, I don't think she's.
Well,
yeah, I don't think it's on her. I don't think it's on Aaron Kelly.
Oh, yeah, I think it's the writing, but the writing's not letting her be charismatic.
Yeah, they're trying to build the sympathy factor with her, but it just, I don't know. To me, it makes her look weak.
That's accurate. That's fair,
Rhett. That's fair.
That's the most accurate thing said in the chat tonight.
I did like when she snapped Red Wing in half, so I can't.
Oh yeah, no. I mean,
that was bad.
She's going through a lot. I mean, this person that passed away, we don't need to necessarily know the backstory of their relationship, but we know that obviously that person meant a lot to her. And she played that really well. So I liked that aspect of it. Like, that could have been the tipping point for her. I mean, hey, the answer to that rest is always. But
now I've got this fear that every time I see a show and there's some really wicked, badass person in a mask, it's going to be Eric Kellerman behind it. Eventually they'll rip off the mask. I'm like, oh no, it's her again.
Yeah.
Infus Nest.
No, I mean, but again,
Charlie Morgenthau.
We don't need any background to the Flag Smashers other than they felt like people were not treated right that were left behind. That's all we need to know. And that dictates their actions from that point on. So I don't need to know any huge backstory of the Flag Smashers. They're ticked off that people were not treated right that didn't get blipped. Earl. Yeah, exactly. Look. Oh well, I didn't mean to click on that.
Led me to.
But Aaron Sorkin didn't write it. Exactly. I mean,
I like the other comment better.
We don't need that kind of stuff to get it.
Yeah, I get that.
She's crying because she's sad, Roth. It was rough on the people that got left behind.
Don't give.
Have some empathy, man. Jeez. The
GRC is trying to help them. Why won't they accept the help that we're offering?
No, they're not. That's the whole point. Well, the GRC is not trying to help them. That's the whole point.
That's what we've been told, but all we've been shown from the GRC is nothing either. We haven't seen much from them either. We saw the commercial, which was typical bureaucratic commercial, but we've not really seen anything from them. We haven't gotten their side of the story.
We know why that organization exists, though, to help the people that were blipped to, get back into society. So that organization was created just for that group of people, not the people that were left behind that probably were dealing with similar things.
I get it. We're supposed to not like them overall because they didn't help the other people.
Yeah.
The other half of the population.
Exactly, or whatever the number was. I don't MCU, so I don't know the exact numbers that Rhett probably has off the top of his head. So
I would just say 3.5 billion if there was really half. But
yeah, there you go. So, anyways, I mean, I don't know.
There's a lot of politics to figure out.
There is. I mean, but it's not really that difficult. The Flag Smashers are there because they felt like they were done wrong. And they're doing what they think they have to do to help those people out. And
I want to see some GRC background. Like, how did they set this thing up? Maybe they'll do a whole episode about the GRC and the Flag Smashers.
They don't need to. That's the whole thing.
We don't have time for that, do we?
No, we don't have time for that now. I mean, now we've got like a clear thing that's going to happen, which is the Power Broker is going to now be chasing Sam and Bucky and Zemo. I mean, now that the Power Broker, whoever it is tipped off that those three are involved, he's going to have resources going after them.
Power Broker's also going to be going at the Flag Smashers to get the remaining Super Soldier Serum.
Yeah.
And to probably take it to be able to replicate it somewhere. Because as soon as he gets it, some scientists could probably figure out a way to replicate it.
Right. So, yeah. Although that guy said
20 vials, right? And this is what I've heard. 8 of those are being used by the Flag Smashers.
Yep.
There's 12 still out there somewhere. One's going to go to John Walker, probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe that.
Maybe to Battlestar, too. I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
I think somehow, John Walker's going to... Yeah.
Falcon's going to be the only guy without Super Soldier Serum.
Sam's going to be the only one left.
But he's got the wings.
But he'll get the shield.
Yeah, he'll have the shield and the wings.
Yeah. Exactly. So, pretty much, I think we've covered most of everything in it. Was there anything? I didn't do notes this time, so was there anything that we missed, Ryfin?
I didn't do extensive notes this time, but Zemo got to see Bucky's list, which means he potentially saw his name on there because his name is on there.
Yep.
And he brought up the Naka. I would like to see that payoff. By the way, the old man. I have a feeling they're leaving that for the last episode.
Yeah.
But I really want to see that payoff for Bucky.
Yeah.
Him having to reveal that to the old man, the way he goes about that. Other than that, I think we've mostly talked about everything else.
Yeah, I mean the one thing that was interesting is that scientist guy was kind of boasting like that he was the only one that could figure this out prior to what was it, Heinrich or
I do like how they
Erskine, yeah.
I do like how the scientist guy with Nagel, is that his name?
Yeah.
Said, well, they had this plan and then he blipped.
Yeah.
He disappeared for 5 years.
He disappeared for 5 years.
They were like, well, why didn't you do that? Well, we blipped,
This scientist is from the comics. He was introduced in that Truth series, which was Isaiah Bradley's comic from like 2003 or whatever.
Okay.
So there is some, he's not connected in the show, but he's connected in the comics.
In the comics, yeah.
And they've brought him in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And also, of course, there's then the last part in the episode, which we really haven't talked about.
Go for it.
Okay. Ayo, I guess is that how you say her name? From Civil War and from Black Panther.
Oh yeah, he follows the little balls and then he turns around and she's there.
Is there in the alley.
You hear the Wakandan music and I was like, oh,
snap. Yep. She's there just as Sam predicted.
They want Zemo
for Zemo. Yeah. I mean,
Zemo. He may be. He may not make it out of this.
Sam was like, Wakandans don't forget. I mean, so, and I thought it was cool that they didn't necessarily use, the biggest actress, that was one of those, but they used an actress that had been in two or three of the movies though.
Yeah. She was Civil War and Black Panther. And she was the one who told Black Widow to get out of the way when they were getting into the car.
Yeah. She was in Civil War, Black Panther, and Infinity War, I think.
She wasn't the big guard. She wasn't the head guard person,
right?
But she was a very important person in Wakanda.
Yeah. So, I think it's cool that they're starting to plant the seeds for that. I mean, we know that they, at least from a developmental stage, they want a Wakanda show. I think they announced that, and we know we're gonna in some form get a Black Panther 2.
Yep. What's his name's working on the script right now?
He's working on the script right now, but
Coogler.
Yeah, Coogler's working on the script right now, and of course he's saying it's like the most difficult thing he's ever had to do.
Yeah, because clearly the original script had Chadwick Boseman in a very prominent role.
Yeah, exactly.
So they already had it written. The treatment
I'm sure at least draft.
Yeah. I'm sure that they had at least a storyline, that they wanted to go with. So they're having to
scrap that.
Well, Daniel Kaluuya can step it up.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, they said that they're not going to recast Black Panther.
Yeah, but I feel like I know some people want Shuri to take the mantle, but I feel like they're going to introduce some other hero from Wakanda or that area of the world. That's
sure. The actress that played Shuri was in the news recently for not great stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah,
there was some weird stuff that came out about her. So I don't know what they're going to do. I'm wondering if they're going to push. Like fast track the show to come out before the movie. I don't know. I wasn't quite. I didn't quite get like which they wanted to.
I don't
come
think
first.
so. I think the movie will come first.
Yeah.
It's deeper into production.
Yeah. So it's cool that the Falcon and Winter Soldier is having ties to Black Panther. I think that's neat.
Yeah, and I don't expect to see Chadwick at all. I mean, he was actually alive while they were filming this stuff.
Oh,
but I don't expect to see Chadwick.
Interesting.
I think Forrest Whitaker will take over as Grey Panther, and then he can join the Elder Avengers.
He's gonna be Saw Gerrera.
Winston Duke is gonna take over.
He's gonna be Saw Gullet.
Oh boy, Rhett's
dude, I'm about to ban you. Stop it.
I like the Michael B. Jordan, bringing back Michael B. Jordan aspect, but I know that would be controversial.
Yeah, as Killmonger. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind that.
But he could come and take the mantle. He says, "I'm gonna."
He's part of the family, technically, right? I mean,
he has a right to the throne.
He has a right to the throne, so
he could have a change of heart or mind or something.
My big question for Wakanda will be: Do they just say T'Challa has died off screen? I mean, that's my biggest question.
Yeah,
but I guess we'll find out.
I would
not in this show, but we'll find out in Black Panther.
I know. I would hate that, but I mean, what else are they going to do? I mean, what else can they do but that? I mean,
Joy Monger. I like it.
Yeah, this is almost like a Carrie Fisher type situation.
It's almost like a Furious 7 situation.
Yeah, Furious 7, where they
Paul
ended up
Walker.
using Paul Walker's brother for some scenes or whatever. But I don't think they can even.
No,
I don't know. I hope they don't do anything weird with it, and just maybe, like you said, just say he died off screen or something. I don't know. Good grief, Brett.
He joined his elders.
Yeah. Next episode, guys. 54 minutes been confirmed.
Oh,
Really?
You just got that in straight from the wire. 54 minutes.
Straight from personally connected wire.
We got something in on the teletype. Sorry, that's my 1940s announcer voice.
That's the 1940s announcer.
I don't know
RKO
if
radio
knows about that.
So let's talk a little bit about what Madripoor could mean in the future, because like we had mentioned last week, that's a big X-Men type of situation.
And there's a bar that apparently is a place that Wolverine hung out in.
Owned at one point.
Or owned, yeah.
And
it was in the I forget the name of it. It's
the Princess Bar.
Princess Bar.
And he owned it under the alias. Oh crap! I told Mikey this in the pre-show?
Yeah, you told it to me earlier.
Patches, I think.
Patches. Yeah. Which
it's
I don't know why. I don't know.
Patches the Clown? Is this?
Yeah.
He would lay low there. It's a very big town for Wolverine. I think it was introduced in New Mutants in the 80s, 85 or something like that. I was looking up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the implications are they're starting to use Fox cities. Which doesn't mean that we're getting the mutants in this show. No. Because that would kind of probably derail things a little bit. But it means that we're starting to integrate things more and more, and the mutants we know are coming to the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, and Feige's always been really good about just like planting really small seeds and not just like throwing something big in your face.
Right. Yeah, shoot. 10 rings, Iron Man, finally being paid off in Shang-Chi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like how many years later? Like for real.
And that's not something they planted on purpose. It's just, that was there. Then they bring in Mandarin and Iron Man 3. That's a dud.
Right. I'll see Nate's right. It's just Marvel flexing. They've got it all.
It is literally
everything.
It's literally Marvel going, we can use this now.
I mean,
and so they brought it in.
They've got everything but Namor. They still don't have Namor. And
I think they can use Namor.
What now?
I think they can use Namor if they want to.
They probably, but it would be
I think
like
it's a Universal thing, and
it'd be like a Hulk thing. Like Hulk still technically is Universal, so can't have a standalone movie.
Yeah.
And how did Incredible Hulk get made then? Did just Universal agree to let him do that one?
Universal did it. Universal produced it, paid for the.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, interesting. So they could eventually do like a Sony deal. If Marvel wanted to pony up enough money to have a Namor movie, which I know Earl is really wanting a Namor movie.
I think Namor. Well, look, Namor's
no sell, Earl.
Namor is one of the first superheroes Marvel ever made.
Yeah,
he was made in the 40s. Right. He was
the Human Torch, Namor,
the Human Torch robot. To give context to people who don't know about that,
the Submariner.
Yeah,
for all you watching out there,
this is pre-Marvel Universe, which kind of kicked off with the Fantastic Four in '63 or whatever. So,
Namor,
Namor's a big
Namor.
deal.
No, y'all aren't
Namor.
Yeah,
not Julie Namor.
He's spelling the soccer player, I think.
Oh, Neymar. Not Julie Newmar.
Yeah.
Oh. Hello.
Yeah, I know. He's not. He's definitely not a money
That's
maker.
why he's the villain in Black Panther 2.
But he is like a big point. Oh,
that's just a rumor.
But he is a big part of like that Illuminati organization that they set up at some point in the comics.
Do you think Illuminati's coming to Doctor? The rumor is Illuminati's coming to Doctor Strange too.
Oh, I think it is. Yeah, because that ends up being a big deal. I mean, there was that it was what Reed Richards, Doctor Strange, Hulk, Tony Stark, Namor.
This is post, I think, Secret Invasion or something.
Post Secret Invasion. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. It was a big deal. I mean, it'll Wakanda. So it's just like here's a local reference for you. It's just like Helena. That's a local reference. What people love.
Everyone outside of Birmingham is.
Yeah, exactly.
Scratching their head, going, "Why do we love this?
Why do we love local references?" No, I'm ready for all that. I'm ready for the Illuminati to come in. Because I actually did read some of those comics. I started to try and pretend to be a comic book reader, and so I was reading some of that
Or
stuff.
just a reader in general?
And a reader in general, yeah. And I gave up. I mean, it was too much.
You were like, "Why are there subtitles in this movie?"
I can't have anything to do with this. Roth, I did not get that local reference.
I didn't either.
Exactly. All right. Well, I wanted to talk about the Loki trailer also, but Earl hasn't watched it yet.
Oh,
so
yeah, no spoilers, guys.
We can't talk about the Loki.
No, y'all talk about it. Y'all talk about it.
Well, I mean, the one big thing that I did not realize is that, and I can never say this actress's name correctly, but they showed her for like a split second in the trailer.
Lady Sif.
Ngutu Mbatu Raw. I can't ever say. So her character in the comics is in a relationship with Kang the Conqueror.
Yep.
Who is about to be a big part of the MCU from a villainous standpoint.
Yep.
So that's interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, he'll be introduced in Ant-Man 3, or at least as far as we're aware.
Yeah, as far or maybe now that's what people are like, wait, is Kang the Conqueror going to be in Loki? Because if she's in Loki, that could mean that they
Wow, is Owen Wilson in the trailer? Wow.
Yeah, Owen Wilson plays Mobius.
Sorry, that's not very good.
Mobius M. Mobius.
And he is at his most Owen Wilson in this trailer. You're going to love the trailer, Earl, when you watch it, because he is at his
maybe
most...
I should just jump out of this thing and go watch the trailer.
There's a couple scenes that he has in the trailer that feel like it's in a Wes Anderson movie. I mean, it's just like the way he's talking to Loki is just really funny.
Wow.
Yeah, you can see statues of the statues and the elevator. By the way, the elevator is an elevator in an Atlanta hotel, like the Marriott or something, where I've stayed before. But the statues outside of them, I think, are the timekeepers.
Yeah, the timekeepers. Yeah,
and they're very accurate to the comic looking. So
yeah. So timekeepers is obviously a big part of the Loki show, which is the one that we're getting right after this show. Well, when I say right after, it's the next one, but it's not till June or whatever. But I mean,
we talked about this before, but you know, kind of like we're seeing right now with Zemo almost being an anti-hero in this show.
Yeah.
Loki became kind of an anti-hero over time.
Oh yeah.
But this is the Loki from Avengers 2012. So he has not had time to sort of mature as he has in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah, he's much more villain than he is anti-hero in this show. It's going to be interesting to see his journey.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward, because with the timekeepers, he's going to be jumping all over time. I think we see a part where he's supposed to be that guy that
he's DB Cooper at one point.
DB Cooper, yeah. I mean, there's like, there's going to be some good stuff.
But when he's DB Cooper, he tells Heimdall to pull him up into the Bifrost. So that'll be interesting to see when he goes back to Asgard in the show.
Yeah, because
they will have an Anthony Hopkins sighting.
Ooh.
So does that mean? Wait, I thought that Asgard was destroyed.
That he is coming from 2012, sir.
Oh gosh.
From a certain point of view,
and also Asgard is a people, not a place.
Oh well, yeah, okay. Asgardians, yeah, I get it. Yeah,
but
wait, he just said...
I think it still exists in his branched timeline.
Interesting.
Because the real Loki died, right? At the spear point of not the real Loki, but one of the Loki in Infinity War got killed.
No.
Right?
Yes.
No, I refuse to MCU any harder than I am, because obviously I can't handle what I've been trying to handle. So no,
well, Mikey, you never go back and watch the movies again. So
no, I have not. I've only seen each of these movies like one time. So I definitely need to go back and take the time to watch them. I've
when
got too many other things going on right now, Earl.
When
Well,
Infinity
we're in the
War,
middle of Oscar season.
I'm trying to
yeah, Deucey season.
Deucey season is upon us.
Yes,
I've got a spiritual role to pay off, man. I got things
That's
to
right.
do.
yeah.
I'm trying to watch all the Oscar movies. I'm trying to catch up on Spielberg movies. I don't have time to.
Black Widow comes out this July. Maybe in June you can work through them.
We'll see.
Work up to the Black Widow movie.
I did that before Infinity War and Endgame. I rewatched all of them and watched the entire Phase 3 with commentary tracks on afterwards, which was excellent.
Roth,
we are too, Jacob.
I'm still waiting for mine as well.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a
Hopefully Dave is working on that because I'm still waiting on mine as well.
I still have to watch 6 more movies to see every movie on the Deucey ballot. So
you've got some work to do. Which 6 are you missing?
Off the top of my head, 2 Amazon movies, One Night in Miami, and the one about the deaf drummer, Sound of Metal.
Yeah, Sound of Metal is good.
Run, Hide, Fight, Possessor, and then the other 2 I can't remember.
Dude, Possessor might mess you up. I don't know if you need to watch Possessor. That's on Hulu, I think. That might mess you up.
Yeah, I watched all the documentaries this past weekend.
Wow.
And I watched Vast of Night as well. So,
wow, that's impressive.
Yep,
Vast of Night's pretty good. All right, we're off topic here. So, I appreciate everybody. Yes, Roth, I very much agree. It was surprisingly a good movie. I totally agree with that. But thanks everybody for watching the Deucecast Extra. We will obviously be back next week for episode 4, whatever it will be titled, and I appreciate you watching. You can find me on Twitter at @TheMichaelNip. I hang out on Letterboxd. I'm in the RetroZap Discord. Ryfen, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at SUPASH3 and on Letterboxd at G-Ryfen. So,
Dr. Earl, off the grid, except
on Discord.
Everyone on Discord. You need to get a Letterboxd account, dude. With as many movies as you watch, you need to get yourself a Letterboxd account.
I just started the site as a way to track what days I watched what movies and what scores I gave them.
Yeah.
And now other people follow me.
That's right.
What?
Yeah. Yep. It's fun. I like Letterboxd. It keeps me honest with my goal of 365 movies this year. So we'll see how that goes. I'm ahead of the game right now, but we'll see how it goes the rest of the year. It is. Somebody was it Nate? Nate, did you do it? Was it somebody did it last year or the year before last? I thought it was Aussie Nate that did it, but
I think it's Aussie Nate.
Yeah, somebody is he watching?
365 movies?
Yeah, in a year. I think Aussie Nate did it, but I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head.
By the way, I have put all my comments, everything I say, into a non-fungible token.
375?
What?
Dude.
You gotta go one higher, Michael.
376. I've got to go now. I'm gonna have to do 376.
Gonna be outbidding Nate Johnson.
I've got a $1
You can win this.
The only thing that'll be on my tombstone, I $1 Nate. Because that might kill me to do that many movies a year.
I'm on a really good pace. I'm like 130 movies this year so far.
Yeah.
But I'm not reaching 375.
See, I'm already in the 140s. So
jeez.
Yeah. I have confidence I can get. My goal is to get it done early, like before the end of the year.
Don't be ashamed. 87 is fine.
No, dude. This is the only time I've ever even tried to do this, and it's just like kind of like by accident. So, yeah, we'll see. Yes. I do feel like I need to do 376 now, though.
Honestly, I'm on track for 365, and that's on accident. So,
yeah. Exactly. So, anyways, all right, we're about to hit an hour, and that's definitely long enough for sure.
Yeah.
But I appreciate everybody watching. Please, if you get a chance, subscribe if you already haven't. Share for sure. That'll help us. Like the video, and comment if you're watching this later, and I'll do my best to respond or at least give you a like as I have time. If I'm not watching a movie, I'm doing it wrong, obviously. So I need to be watching movies. So everybody have a great night, and thanks again for watching.